Hello and welcome to your yoga class for this week. As always, well done for making it out, for turning on this video. The hardest part is over now that you're here. This is the fifth and final installment of our series of yoga for stress relief. We will be following a similar format as we have been doing, focusing around the core and the hips, and then doing some standing and balancing poses to help to just blast any last bits of stress out of the body. You don't need anything special for this class equipment-wise, but you might have yoga blocks or cushions nearby, and then a blanket for the end of the class. So go ahead and get ready, and then we'll meet back here when you are ready. Begin by coming into your best way to sit, sitting on a cushion or yoga block if you need to. And then take a moment to lengthen your spine, close your eyes or relax your gaze. Drop your shoulders a little bit lower. Loosen up your jaw. And relax your facial muscles. Give your entire body permission to slow down and relax. And give your mind permission to refuse any thoughts that are coming in. Of course, easier said than done, but we'll start just by bringing our awareness to our breath. Noticing the air as it comes into your nostrils, maybe slightly cool. And then notice the air as it leaves your nostrils, and it may have warmed up a little bit in your body. Now you might start to encourage those breaths to go a little bit deeper, breathing down into your belly, feeling the expansion of your belly. And then the air rises up into your chest and your throat. Each time you exhale, emptying your belly, then your chest, and then your throat. As we continue to breathe here, just notice if your body has clenched up again, if you need to scan and relax your shoulders, your jaw, your face. And then notice if you are engaging in thoughts, and if you are, just come back to your breath. Just taking one or two more breath cycles here. Maybe just thanking your breath for being here in your body. Without it, we cannot survive. So let's take a moment to acknowledge all that it does for us. Now with an exhale, you can start to open up your eyes again. Making your way into tabletop pose, coming onto all fours. Wrists below shoulders, knees below hips, fingers spread wide apart, core slightly engaged, and you're pushing yourself away from your mat. We'll do a few rounds of cat and cow. So as you inhale, point your tailbone up, drop your belly, bring your chest forward, and look up. Exhale, point your tailbone down, round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest, and drop your head. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, round down. Let's do a few more like that. As always, trying to keep your attention within your spine. Maybe giving a little bit of thanks to each vertebrae as you move through. Acknowledging everything that our backbone does. Literally our backbone of our body. And then you can stay with this cat and cow movement, or you can start to move your hips from side to side, looking back over your shoulders to stretch out your neck. And just exploring the body here, seeing what we find, and if we find little sticky patches, you can just stretch them out of your body. Come back to center when you're ready. You might need to take your knees a little bit wider apart here. Bring your left hand in underneath your face, keeping it on the mat. And then inhale to reach your right arm up, looking up at that right thumb, opening up through your chest. Exhale to thread your right arm in underneath your left, bringing your right ear and shoulder to the mat, and then walking your left hand more towards the top of your mat. Pausing here for a breath or two. And just saying hello to that right shoulder. Now you can start to reverse, making your way back up. This time your right hand stays underneath your face, left arm reaches up, look up and gently twist your upper body so your heart can shine up. Exhale to thread under, left shoulder and ear to the mat. Right hand comes towards the top. Breathe here into your left shoulder. Reversing when you're ready to leave the pose. And then from here you can come into a high plank. So hands will come towards the front of your mat. Spread your fingers wide. Grip the finger pads onto the mat so you create that suction cup and the heel of your hand is still pressing into your mat. Shoulders come directly above the wrists. Knees can stay on the mat or you can lift them up. Now we're just setting the kindling here, the little bit of tinder to start that fire in the body. Keep breathing and just try to feel whatever you're feeling, not labeling anything as good or bad. Now we'll take a bend into the knees, drag the hips up and back for downward facing dog. First downward dog of the day, so let's paddle the feet, stretch the backs of your legs. Again, finding stickiness and then cleaning it out by stretching it off. Now we're going to repeat high plank to downward dog a few more times, riding the breath. So inhale to come forward, shoulders above the wrists. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more of each. Inhaling, high plank. Exhaling, downward dog. This time come forward into a high plank, but you can lower yourself down. However you get there is fine. Widen out your feet and inhale to scoop up into extended cobra. Now we're still getting warmed up, so don't force anything up here. However high you are is okay. Keep that bend in your elbows. Look straight ahead or diagonally up. And as you breathe in, send that breath all the way down to your tailbone. With an exhale, we'll start to drag our hips back towards our heels, bringing our big toes together and sitting down into a wide leg child's pose. Resting forehead to the mat or onto your hands. Just letting everything drop for a moment. Press your finger pads into your mat. Inhale to pull yourself forward. You might come straight down onto your belly here, or you can come back into high plank and then challenge yourself to come straight down onto the belly. Inhaling to scoop up into extended cobra. And when you're ready, exhale to come back to wide leg child's pose. We'll repeat those movements a few more times. Inhaling forward. Maybe finding plank and coming down. Inhale again, extended cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Keep going now at your own pace. And whenever you're back in child's pose, you can rest again there. From here, walk both of your hands over to the right, as far over as you can get them. Drop your head towards the floor and feel that opening all through the left side of your body. Take a big breath in to fill up your left lung like a big balloon. And as you exhale and deflate that balloon, you can walk both your hands over to the left. Time for the right lung to expand as you breathe in. And then exhale, come back to center. Drop into your child's pose just for another moment. Feel the effects of the pose on your body. Feel how your breath is different. And as you breathe into your body, just send some love and gratitude in with your breath. Thanking your body for everything that it's able to do for you. Now we'll make our way into downward facing dog, so you can pull yourself back up with a breath in and then drag the hips up and back. And we'll find a little bit of stillness in our downward dog this time. So feet are hip width distance apart, knees can stay bent, tailbone points up towards the sky. Drop your head towards the mat. Your ears might come in line with your biceps. Have your fingers spread wide. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. And now push yourself away from your hands so your head sinks even deeper. and you start to feel that stretch all through the back of your body. Try to press your heels towards the mat, but it's okay if they don't make it. We'll breathe here. Downward dog is the most iconic yoga pose, I think, but it doesn't mean it's easy. So if you're finding this pose challenging, that's completely normal. It does require a lot of strength. Breathe through whatever you're feeling. Now start to walk your feet towards your hands, slowly transitioning into a standing forward fold. So the knees are still bent, feet are still hip-width distance apart, and they're parallel to each other. Let your hands and your head hang low. And take this time to check back in on your shoulders and your jaw and your facial muscles, making sure everything is still soft. Tuck your chin towards your chest and really slowly start to roll your spine back up. Once you're standing, roll your shoulders back and down so you can puff your chest out slightly. Have your palms facing forward and just stand here like a mountain in mountain pose. Nice and tall and strong and proud. Bring yourself back now, opening up the eyes, and you can set yourself up for tree pose. So come to stand towards the front of your mat. Palms can come together at the chest. Now press both of your feet into your mat so you have a really strong foundation. You might even lift your toes up, spread them as wide as you can, and then drop them back down so you have like duck feet really wide against the mat. Stand nice and tall and find something to focus your vision on, something that's not moving, maybe on the floor or on the wall in front of you. Now start to press down into your left foot and ask it to be your foundation. When it feels strong, you can lift your right heel up off the mat, resting it against your left leg. And if you feel balanced and you want to go a little bit deeper, you can lift that right foot completely up, resting it against your left leg. Try to open out that right knee so it's pointing straight out over beside you rather than in front of you. And we'll just breathe here from mountain to tree. Now you're standing tall and proud like a really strong tree. If you fall out of the pose, don't worry, just try to be playful about it and just come back to wherever you were. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can lift your hands up, relaxing your shoulders away from your ears and spreading the branches of your tree. If your hands are lifted, bring them back to your chest. And we're going to try to transition straight into Warrior 3 here. So keep a little bend in your left knee and then slowly start to reach your right foot back behind you, trying to keep it parallel to the mat, but don't worry too much about the look of the pose. Just focus on how you're feeling. Your upper body will start to tilt forward and you're trying to make your upper body parallel to the mat as well. But again, let's not worry, let's be playful. Holding here for a breath or two. Now, take an even more bend into your left knee and start to bring your right foot back down onto the mat, landing it on a 45-degree angle. Keep your front knee bent over your front knee, square those hips to the front of your mat, and you know this means we're lifting our hands up for warrior one. Press into the outer edge of your back foot so it's really firm into the mat. Pull your feet towards each other like you're trying to pull the front and back of the mat together. Notice all those tiny little muscles in your feet which are helping you to stabilize and balance. Pull the energy up from the ground, through your feet, up into your legs. Cinch your waist like you're putting on tight jeans, and then let that energy explode up into your heart, into your head, and then out your fingertips. One more breath here. As you exhale, you can bring your arms back down. Pivot on your feet. So now you have a wide stand and all your toes are pointed away from you on a 45-degree angle. We have a bend in our knees here, and we're going to drop our pelvis a little bit lower to come into goddess pose. Palms can come back together at the chest. Now your knees will try to collapse in, so we want to keep them as lifted as we can. We're just staying here for a few breaths, seeing how low we can go here. Don't let your feet just be here. Keep that strong connection to the ground, really using them as your solid foundation. One more breath in, doing really good. As you exhale, you can start to straighten. And then we'll come into 5-point star pose from here. So you are reaching your arms out wide left to right, keeping a little bend in your knees so we don't lock them. And then pivot your feet so now they're parallel to the short edges of your mat. Point your tailbone down towards the mat, lengthen your spine, close your eyes, and just feel all of this new energy that's traveling through to every cell of your body, helping to rejuvenate and heal each one. With an exhale, gently float your hands back down. Step your back foot to meet the front. And we're back to where we started. We're going to repeat on the opposite side, starting with tree pose. So let's find that foundation, maybe get those duck feet on, palms together at the chest. Finding something to focus our vision on. Using our right foot as our foundation, lift your left foot up. When we feel balance, we'll try to open up our left knee even more, so it's pointed straight over to the left. Now lengthen your trunk, which is your spine, so you're even taller. And maybe you'll start to grow some branches out. Now we're getting ready to transition to warrior 3. If you need to bring your foot back onto the mat, that's okay. Palms are at the chest. Left foot is starting to travel backwards as we keep a bend in our right knee. And then we're maybe making our upper body and our back leg parallel to the floor. Doing really good here. Remember to be playful. If we fall, whatever, just come back. Get ready to transition to warrior 1 by bending our bottom knee, landing our left foot back behind us on a 45-degree angle, front knee over front ankle, hips square to the front. Inhale, reach up. We're still not resting here. We're working really hard. Feet magnetized towards each other, pulling all that energy up from the earth and up to your fingertips. One more breath in, warrior. Exhale, drop the arms back down. Pivot your feet now for goddess pose. So your feet are on a 45-degree angle. Your tailbone points down so your spine is nice and straight. Palms come together. Drop your hips and pause. If your eyes are closed, you can gently open them again. We're going to take it a little bit further by bringing our right forearm onto our right leg and then reach that left arm up and over. Look up at your left thumb as you shine your chest to the sky. And exhale can help you to switch. Look up at your right thumb. Exhale, come back to center, palms at the chest. Maybe you can drop a little bit lower. And now stand straight and let all that energy just drop through your body. Shifting your feet so now they're parallel to the short edges again, arms out wide. Point your tailbone down. Close your eyes or settle your gaze for 5-point star. Your next exhale can float your hands back down. Step your feet back beside each other. You can shake out your legs or do whatever you need to do, some standing scribbles. And then we're coming back down to lie on our backs. Resting for a moment in Savasana pose. Our first one of the practice. So just drop straight into this new energy that is within your body and just let yourself bathe in it for a moment. Now you might bring yourself back by taking a full body stretch, reaching your arms past your head, stepping your feet in beside each other and making your body as long as possible. Keep breathing so you can oxygenate every single muscle. Keep stretching. And then exhale to release. Now we're going to practice shoulder stand again as we did last week. So if you happen to have a blanket, you can put that blanket on your mat so the pose doesn't feel as hard on your spine, at the neck in particular. And then we're going to have an option to go back into Plough Pose, so bringing the feet back behind us. So if you need to, you might set up your yoga blocks or cushions as little platforms for your feet to land on if you do find it difficult to get the toes to the floor, which is normal. So if you're ready, let's make our way into shoulder stand. Lying on our back, bring your legs up into the air and then hoist yourself up, bringing your hands to your lower back. Now start to walk your hands closer to your shoulders so you can straighten out your spine and straighten up your legs. Soles of the feet are parallel to the ceiling. Find your breath. Don't move your head and just let gravity take over here, sending all the blood to your brain. Check in on your spine, make sure it hasn't collapsed. Everything is nice and strong. And if you do want to come into Plough Pose, you can start to point your toes down towards the floor as you bring your feet back behind you. Widening out your feet will make it a little bit easier to bring them to the floor, or else aim for those platforms you've made. Hands can stay at the lower back for support, or your arms can come to rest on the floor. Now we'll start to slowly come out of the pose. So use your arms as brakes against the floor and just try to bring one vertebrae at a time slowly back to the mat. Once your hips land, set yourself up for bridge pose. Having your ankles underneath your knees, reaching your fingers down towards your feet, pressing your lower back into your mat, and now lifting your hips up. And bridge pose offers a nice counter stretch after shoulder stand and Plough Pose. So keep your hips nice and high to help stretch your spine out. Find a few big breaths as we hold here. Now, if you can, press into your left foot and lift your right foot up towards the ceiling. Bringing those right toes as high as you can, just take one breath. And with your exhale, you can bring your right ankle onto your left thigh. Slowly roll your spine back to the earth. And once you're there, you'll find that you have landed in reclined pigeon pose. So you can stay just like this, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can walk your left foot closer to your body. And then to go deeper again, you can thread your hands through your legs and come to find the outside or the inside of your left knee. Moving very mindfully here, just seeing what the body wants in this moment. And once you've found something that's sustainable for you, we'll just rest here in reclined pigeon. Now you can remove your fingers from your knee, bring your left foot back down to the mat, and keeping this figure 4 shape, just drop both of your knees over towards the left side, coming into a gentle twist here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can bring your left hand up onto this top leg and just encourage it gently towards the floor. With your next breath in, lift both of your knees back up, undo, and set yourself up for bridge pose again. So press your lower back to the mat, lift your hips up, keep everything nice and high. This time press into your right foot as you lift your left leg up, straightening it as much as you can, lifting those left toes to the sky. Take a big breath in. Exhale, ankle comes to the thigh and roll your spine back down. Find your best version of reclined pigeon, whatever works for you. And then settle into it. Finding again those sticky, tight spots in your body, sending your breath into them. Now you can undo your fingers, bring your right foot back to the mat, and then gently tip both knees over to the right, finding your twist. When you're ready, you can come back up slowly. Unravel your legs and send them out long into Savasana pose. Now you can start to bring yourself back and we'll make our way into happy baby pose. So bring your knees up towards your chest, then make them wider than your torso. Arms come in between the legs and they can come to hold the shins, the ankles, or the inside or the outside of your feet. And whatever works best for you here is fine. Now try to make your feet parallel to the ceiling and your hands are gently pulling your feet down as your feet try to touch the roof. You can stay still in your happy baby, or you can gently rock from side to side to massage your back. There's lots of space for your belly to grow here, so just let it expand with each breath in and slowly collapse with each breath out. When you're ready to release your happy baby pose, you can rock yourself back up. So we come to the mat and we'll make our way into tabletop pose. We're going to do a really slow cat and cow. So set yourself up in your table and then inhale to bring your tailbone up, drop your belly. Allow your chest to come forward and look up. We're just going to hold our cow pose here. Finding a breath or two, noticing how it travels into your body when it's in this position. Now we're going to point our tailbone down, round our spine, tuck our chin to the chest and drop the head into cat. You'll notice here the more you can push yourself away from the mat, the more of an opening you'll feel through your shoulders. And now you can release your cat and just come to sit on your shins for a moment. We're going to practice Camel Pose next, and Camel Pose is a back bend, so it's opening up all the front of your body, and it's quite nice for your solar plexus to help it to open up, and as we know, we tend to store some stress in that area, so it's a nice way to release stress. So we will have some options for this pose. If you have yoga blocks, you can set them up next to your feet. And then if not, it's okay. You don't need them. They just can be nice to have close by. Then you're coming to stand on your knees. Now, if your knees are very sensitive, you can put a blanket underneath on the mat. From here, then bring your hands onto your lower back, having your fingers pointing down towards the mat. Take a second to lengthen your spine. Open up through your chest by pulling your shoulders slightly back. And imagine you have a string right in the center of your chest, right at your chest bone, and it's attached up to the ceiling, and something is gently pulling you up towards the ceiling from the center of your chest. So let's start to inhale and gently push our hips forward, allowing our chest to rise up towards the ceiling. And then you might drop your head back here so you can look up. Keep your elbows pointed back behind you. Those are your camel humps here for Camel Pose. Now you can stay here, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, you might be able to bring your hands onto your yoga blocks if they're there, keeping your chest pulled up and your hips pushing forward. And if you want to go a little bit deeper from here, you can curl your toes onto your mat so your heels are a little bit higher, and then you might be able to reach one hand at a time down to your heels. Now your Chest is still being pulled up by that string. Your hips stay pointed forward. Take a big breath in and out. And if you have removed your hands, you can bring them back to your lower back. Now very slowly start to lift your head again. And then once your spine is straight, you can come back down to sit on your heels. Have your palms facing up, resting on your thighs, and just take a moment here to feel whatever you feel. From here, we're coming to lie on the front of the body. So come on down. Once you're there, you can rest in Crocodile Pose, making a pillow with your hands, resting a cheek or forehead onto your pillow. This is the first opportunity for the muscles in the back of the body to relax, so you can just open them all up now. Feel them spread across your mat. Now we're coming into baby cobra, so you can bring your feet back beside each other and have your palms next to your chest. Press where your shoelaces would be if you were wearing shoes into your mat. Then use a breath in to peel your head, chest and hands up off of the mat. Keep pressing your feet down. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Use each breath in to lift you up a little bit higher and try to maintain that height through your exhale. Just about 30 seconds here, feeling all that pressure on the belly. The more you can breathe in and lift yourself up, the more you can squeeze and squash any stress away from it. One more big breath in here. And with an exhale, then bring yourself slowly back down, finding Crocodile Pose again. Big toes connect. And you're just letting your body digest the pose you've done. We'll bring ourselves back for extended Cobra now. So widen out your feet to about mat or hip width distance apart. Palms come back next to the chest. Press your hands into the mat as you inhale and peel your upper body up. As always, don't worry about how far up you're coming. Keep your elbows bent and relax your shoulders. Just a few breaths here. One more long inhale breath. Exhale to slowly peel yourself back onto the mat and find your Crocodile Pose to relax in. Connect your big toes and let everything else just flop towards the sides of the mat. Now making our way to locust pose, spread your feet wide apart again. Bring your arms down alongside your body with the palms facing up. And just like before, inhale to peel your head, chest and hands off of the mat. Keep reaching your fingernails down towards your feet. You can stay here or you can go a bit deeper by lifting your feet up off of the mat. And you can stay here or you can go a bit deeper by interlocking your fingers and pressing your hands down towards your feet so you can open up through your chest. Keep breathing, keep trying to maintain that height. With your next exhale, you can come back down, rest in Crocodile, and just feel the effects of the pose. Now we've come to our peak pose, which is bow pose. We're going to start with half bow, just practicing one side at a time, and then there will be an option to do the full bow. So just like camel pose, we're in a similar shape where we're exposing the front of the body, opening up that solar plexus region and getting rid of anything that we don't want to take with us beyond this class. So let's start by bending the right knee and reaching back to hold the right foot with our right hand. Then left arm reaches straight out in front. From here, kick your right foot up into your hand, allowing it to pull your shoulder and chest up, and then let your left hand come to hover. Trying to balance here on your lower belly. Keep breathing. One more breath in, maybe lifting a little bit higher, and then exhale to come back down. Switch sides, so the right arm comes out in front, left hand comes back to find the left foot. Kick your left foot up to open up your chest, and then let your right hand hover. One more breath in, and then slowly come back down. Now you can come back to Crocodile if you don't want to go any further. If you're happy with just doing half bow, that's absolutely fine. But if you do want to go a bit further, you can bend both of your knees, reach back to find both of your feet, and then we're going to hold bow pose for 10 seconds. So kick both your feet up, peel your chest up off your mat, and try to balance on your lower belly. Keep breathing, keep kicking higher if you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back down. Nicely done. From here, plant your hands and bring yourself back into child's pose. Keep your knees together for this one so you can re-round your spine after we've been doing so much back bending over the past few minutes. Hands can reach towards the front of the mat or they can come back to rest next to your feet. Now we're just going to stay here, letting gravity and your breath do all of the work. Prepare to bring yourself out of child's pose now, inhaling to peel yourself up off of the mat, and you can come down to lie on your back from here. Now we're going to end our practice with a supine tree pose. So it's just like tree pose, except we're lying on our backs. You can bring the sole of your right foot up into your left thigh, finding a position which feels nice for you, and then just letting gravity do the work here. The higher you have your foot along your leg, the more intense this will be, so you can adjust accordingly. If at this point you want to get a blanket and put it over you, you can do that. We'll be just lying flat for the remainder of the class. We'll slowly transition to the other side, so do whatever you need to do to bring that right foot back down, and then take your left foot into your thigh. You can start to release your pose now, sending your left foot back down, noticing how your body feels, and then waiting until it asks you to do something. You might be ready to come straight into your final relaxation, or you might have some last little fidgets, adjustments, stretches you need to make. So use this time to do those requests, or you can set yourself up for your final relaxation, grabbing your blanket, getting warm and cozy. Now, once you are settled and ready for stillness, let your hands and feet find the perfect place to rest. Have your palms facing up. Relax your shoulders down into your mat. You might even press the back of your head into the mat so you can lift your chest, and then walk your shoulder blades closer to each other. When you bring your chest back down, then you've created this pillow that will help to keep your chest open. Relax your jaw and make your facial muscles spacious. Take one last conscious breath in, filling up your entire body with this positive energy. Exhale, open your mouth, sigh it all out. And we'll let the awareness of the breath go. You can bring your awareness to your feet. Bathing your feet in this positive energy that you have created. And just thanking your feet for all of the places they've brought you, all of the fun and games they've allowed you to participate in. And now give your feet permission to relax. Bring your awareness up through your legs, into your hips. And thank your hips for all the ways they let you move, how they support you sitting during the day, standing, walking. And just give your hips permission to relax now. Bring your awareness up into your shoulders, down through your arms and into your hands. Thank your hands for everything that they do for you. Thank your arms for everything that they allow you to do. All the hugs they've allowed you to give. Thank your shoulders for supporting you all day. Now give your hands, arms, and shoulders permission to relax. Bring your awareness up to your head, onto your face, into your brain. And just appreciate your ears, your eyes, your nose, your mouth for everything that they allow you to do, see, hear, taste. Thank your brain for all that it does, keeping you functioning. Now your entire body is bathing in this positive gratitude. We'll stay here for a few more minutes, allowing the body to completely relax and soak in all of this positive energy that you have created and now that you are sharing with it. When you're ready, you can start to bring yourself back, just bringing little movements back into your body. In your own time, we will come to lie on the right side of the body. And as you're there, just find a few breaths again. As always, at this point of our classes, honoring, celebrating, and really appreciating yourself for showing up and for doing this practice. It's not easy, I know, and it is quite a long practice, but you did it. So, well done. You can start to slowly push yourself back up, bringing yourself into a seat. Closing the eyes or relaxing the gaze. Finding your breath. Just as we did at the beginning of the class, noticing it coming in and out through your nostrils. Now we'll take one more big breath in together. Open your mouth, exhale, let it all out. Now you can slowly open your eyes again, bringing yourself back. Thank you so much for joining me for this class. I hope you enjoyed it. It concludes our Yoga for Stress Relief series, but remember you can always come back and do these classes if you want to revisit them. They will still be up on the channel. And I will see you next week for our new theme, our new style, and our new class. So I'm excited to share that with you. Until then though, take care. Have a great week and goodbye.